In the corridors of power, where decisions that shape a nation are made, one figure stands silently, yet plays a critical role in ensuring the safety and smooth functioning of the highest office in the land. Today, we take a look at the role of the Aide-de-Camp or ADC to the Kenyan president. Being an ADC is literally like being the president's right-hand man. It's like being the president's shadow, always one or two steps behind or beside the head of state. We know the ADC as an expressionless, rarely smiling personality who stands behind the president. But who really is an ADC? The phrase aide-de-camp or ADC originates from the French language, typically meaning a helper, an assistant, or just simply an aide. Though the role has been seen from some quarters as a colonial hangover, it's very important to the office of the presidency. Kenya inherited the practice of assigning military aide-de-camps to the head of state and commander-in-chief from the British colonialists. The British monarch is known to have an ADC by their side. In Kenya, the ADC is chosen from the Kenya Defence Forces KDF, specifically either from the Kenya Army, the Kenya Air Force, or the Kenya Navy. The appointment of ADCs is a meticulous process overseen by the Defense Council, reflecting the importance of the role. A high-ranking military officer to be appointed as ADC is handpicked by the Defense Council and recommended to the President, who picks the favorable officer to act as an aide-de-camp.
I, William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, do give you...
The officer must be of the rank of a colonel and assisted by a lieutenant colonel who serves as their deputy. Immediately after their appointment, it is said an ADC takes an oath of secrecy because by virtue of being that close to the president, he is exposed to a lot of classified information about the country or personal information about the president that should never leak to the public. The current holder of this esteemed position is Colonel Fabian Rengusuranga from the Kenya Army, who currently is serving as the right-hand person to Commander-in-Chief, President William Samoei Ruto. Colonel Rengusuranga took over from Colonel Timothy Lekolol, who served both Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto during his first few days as the Commander-in-Chief. Colonel Lekolol served as President Ruto's first ADC after serving until the end of former President Uhuru Kenyatta's last term. The current ADC is deputized by Lieutenant Colonel Damaris Agneta, also from the Kenya Army. Colonel Agneta is one of the few Kenyan women who have been lucky to serve in the prestigious role.
Lieutenant Colonel Rachel Nduta Kamui entered the military history books as the first female aide-de-camp ADC for the president.
A position deeply rooted in military tradition, the Aide-de-Camp or ADC to the Kenyan president is far more than just a ceremonial figure. The ADC plays a crucial role in supporting the Kenyan presidency. The relationship between the head of state and the ADC fosters a sense of trust and loyalty. The ADC holds an all-purpose role, but has two key purposes. Role 1 is basically symbolism, where the ADC represents the president's authority as a commander-in-chief and dignifies the position of the president as the head of the Kenya Defense Forces. The second role is basically to support the president, where the ADC assists the president with matters of protocol, security, and military tradition. ADCs have traditionally been known to assist the president with diplomatic protocol at military and state functions and to ensure that these events are conducted efficiently and with dignity as appropriate to the president. An ADC also plays the role as a vital link between civilian governance and the military, and his appearance with the president always endears the Kenyan public to the Kenya Defense Forces.
I am very proud of our Kenya Defense Forces.
The ADC is one of the privileged military officers that accompanies the commander-in-chief in every military parade, at state functions and national holidays. As the right-hand person to the president, the ADC is not just a ceremonial position, but a crucial role within the president's inner circle that demands precision, loyalty, and the deep understanding of the dynamics of protocol, governance, and even politics.
The moments that we regret but are part of our history.
But by virtue of being a military officer, an ADC can accompany the president to any political events, but most of the time, the ADC just plays a silent role because as a military officer, he or she is expected to be apolitical. ADCs often serve as a confidant to the president, and he or she is required to be part of the president's itinerary at all times.
He personally told me that you will stand in, you will be the ADC from time to time. And he went further and said, not just for you, but to inspire other women and girls. I was meeting the president for the first time in close quarters, and now he tells me I'll stand in, I'll be the ADC. So I didn't quite comprehend it. After that, I went and I went and read Psalms 139 to make sense of all this. Only God knows what's going on, but I'm grateful.
While often seen standing behind the president and opening car doors, the ADC's role extends far beyond ceremonial duties. For example, at all state houses and lodges in Kenya, the ADC has a fully functional and operational office that is dedicated and also coordinates and help manage the president's schedule. The ADC's office is entrusted with managing the president's itinerary, which involves coordinating with various departments in the executive office of the president, aides, and other officials to streamline the president's day, making sure that crucial meetings, events, and briefings are seamlessly integrated into the official agenda. He also liaises and attends planning or tactical meetings with the presidential security team, because by virtue of being close to the president the whole day, he could be part of any security intervention. The ADC is also entrusted with the president's personal items and sometimes is seen to carry the president's essential items like the president's phone, the president's notebook, and a tablet that is used by the president for reading speeches, or even diary, among many other things. Although the ADC is traditionally not tasked with ensuring the personal safety and security of the president, the ADC is often seen as an unseen guardian in the backdrop of official events and may act as a bodyguard in unforeseen situations. The presence of an ADC is not just a matter of protocol, it serves a critical role in guaranteeing the safety and security of the head of state. In one such occasion, the ADC to Kenya's third president Mwai Kibaki jumped to protect the head of state from a situation that would have put the life of the president at risk. The ADC shielded the president from a potential fire accident during the event of burning of ivory at the Kenya Wildlife Service. The ADC is trained to handle any security threats that may arise, working in tandem with other security agencies like the Presidential Escort Unit, GSU's G Company, and REC Company to ensure the president's safety. For example, the current Kenyan ADC is a respected, highly trained and decorated Special Forces Regiment officer from one of KDF's most feared units, the Special Operations Brigade, popularly known as 20 Paras or the Green Berets. The KDF's Green Berets are highly trained in one of the most complicated combat duties. For example, in situations where supporters rush to the close proximity of the president, he has been seen to act as a line of defense. As seen on videos and photos shared by the presidential media team, he also wears a communication earpiece to listen to radio and communicate with officers of the Presidential Escort Unit. So how does the ADC dress? Usually, the ADC's uniform varies just like other senior military officers. During state ceremonies and public holidays, the ADC is seen wearing the bright red blazer and black trousers, and on normal occasions and regular days, he or she wears the khaki Kenya Army blazer and trousers. And on assignments and tasks where the president is out in the field, the ADC puts on the jungle green camouflage to suit the occasion. During private events or Sunday services, the ADC opts to drop his military uniform for the civilian outfits just to blend into the environment. One of the primary responsibilities of the ADC is to accompany the president at all times, always acting as a constant shadow. ADCs are expected to be alert, adaptable, and work long hours. The ADC also acts to give respect and dignity to the office holder, and especially if the holder is of advanced age or has physical problems. In such a past scenario, President Mwai Kibaki, who was sworn in during his first term in a wheelchair, was assisted by the ADC to move around and also get in and out of his official car. In another unfortunate incident, President Mwai Kibaki's ADC Colonel Njiru Mbogo assisted to shield the president from embarrassment when his trouser fell during a public event. In Zimbabwe, former President Robert Mugabe was regularly assisted by an ADC during his final years as president. While the role of ADC is widely used in Africa, some leaders opt for different approaches, such as solely having a female ADC or having invisible military aides. Unlike Kenya's visible and traditional approach, some nations like the United States have an invisible military aide who accompanies the president at all times. In France, Russia, and the United States, the president's ADC also plays a very important role of carrying the country's nuclear briefcase. The heavy case, therefore, is never far behind the US president. Interestingly, Kenya's fourth President Uhuru Kenyatta was the first head of state in Africa to appoint a female ADC, a practice that has been continued by his successor, President William Ruto. President William Ruto previously chose to include his female ADC, Lieutenant Colonel Damaris Agneta, in events associated with women, which is noted as a strategic move to emphasize gender inclusivity and diversity. ADCs are known for their expressionless and rarely smiling faces, even during light-hearted moments. However, heads of state with a warm personality like President Uhuru Kenyatta have been known to create a camaraderie with their ADCs. President Uhuru Kenyatta was particularly seen to engage a lot on a personal level with his ADC Colonel Lekolol, and they shared quite light-hearted moments that caught the attention of the Kenyan public. Traditionally, during transit or movement of the head of state, The ADC occupies the front seat of the president's vehicle, always ready to open the door for the president and offer any assistance. In President Ruto's case, the ADC adapts to the unique preference where the president prefers riding in the front seat of the president's 4x4 SUV. However, when riding in the presidential limousine, or in cases where the president and the first lady are both riding in the same car, the ADC switches to the front left seat. In circumstances where the president opts to drive themselves, the ADC could ride in the same car or use a separate car in the presidential motorcade, like it used to be in the case with President Uhuru Kenyatta, who in many cases loved to drive himself. On a personal level, the ADC works long hours, always arriving at the office before the president and leaving after the president has returned from bed. In Kenya, only the president is allowed to have an aide-de-camp. But in 2013, former Baringo Governor Benjamin Cheboy, out of excitement of being in power at the start of county governments, dedicated himself an administration police officer who performed a duty as his aide-de-camp at a public event. The action by Cheboy sparked controversy, leading to the administration officer being demoted. The officer's action of standing behind the governor in ceremonial uniform as Cheboy addressed county assembly members in Baringo was seen as going against the police standing orders. Having an ADC is a trend seen in other African nations such as Tanzania and Uganda, where female ADCs have been appointed, showcasing a departure from historical norms. In Tanzania, President Samia Suluhu Hassan has solely stuck to using a female ADC, which is understandable, especially being a Muslim woman. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, who is a career military officer, has also been seen having a female ADC. Former Libyan leader Colonel Muammar Gaddafi also popularized the use of an elite female team of bodyguards and aides who always drew attention anywhere the leader went. Successful service as an ADC has historically led to promotions within the military ranks, showcasing the significance of their role in shaping military leadership. Their dedication to the role often leads to close relationships with the president, showcasing their talents and skill and potentially resulting in career advancement, as seen with Lieutenant General Peter Mbogo Njiru, who was promoted to serve as the Kenya Army Commander. Historically, the number of ADCs who have served presidents has varied from time to time. The late President Daniel Arap Moi had a total of 6 ADCs in 24 years. The late President Mwai Kibaki had a total of 4 ADCs in 10 years, and Kenya's 4th President Uhuru Kenyatta had 3 ADCs in a total of 10 years. Kenyans have been treated to a symbolic display of power shift during presidential inaugurations, where the ADC moves from the sitting president to the new president who has been sworn in and automatically becomes the commander-in-chief. It is believed that the period in which the AD-camp will serve will depend on several issues, one issue being age, but most of them serve in that capacity for approximately 3 years.
Asanteni.
Aside from serving the sitting president, a few other ADCs are also provided from a pool of officers in the rank of Lieutenant Colonel to accompany visiting heads of states and government who are in Kenya. Every visiting head of state or head of government is usually assigned an officer from the Kenya Defence Forces to act as a dedicated ADC during their time of stay. The dedicated ADC from the Kenya Defence Forces accompanies the visit head of state at all times and acts as an assistant, and it's an honor for the visiting leader. Though some heads of state keep their ADCs even during visits in Kenya, protocol dictates that they take a secondary role. Now you know about the role of an aide-de-camp or ADC. What would you like us to feature next? Let us know in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to get such informative, educative, and entertaining content only at Sauti TV, Kenya's #1 channel for information, entertainment, and education. For Sauti TV, my name is Kevin Sabuni. Don't forget to follow us on social media, Sauti TV KE.